about antibiotics, look at your medicine cabinet and think, do I like what I see? So we are, you see how important it is what we're studying here, because it's not just for the biology, which is definitely, but we are getting messages that we can use in our daily life. And sometimes we find out things that we took for granted, and it's not necessarily so. So we want to go back to where we left off on Friday. Okay. Remember the board? What did we do on the board? What was that? What does this remind you? Right. Should. The word should. So, right. Should do or should not do according to who? According to people that's what we indirectly pay for. Our tax money pays for government agencies, and one of them is the CDC, the Center for Disease Control, and they are professionals. They are scientists and doctors and all kinds of people that's public health is their thing, okay? And for good reasons, based on science, they're telling us to do or not to do according to them. So we're going to just remind ourselves of at least one requirement or recommendation, and we'll see if we are doing it. You had a chance to look at the survey. Remember, we have a survey that within 2 years, we had 750 people from your community answering, including students, answering the survey, and let's see what we got. Okay, reminder of that, and connect to Addie. How does it help us understand what's happened in her case, right? And the next part of the period, we're going to start looking at why. One of these regulations, why is it required? Scientifically, mathematically, we're going to do math. Again, addition, subtraction, not much more, multiplication, but it will give us a clue of why we're doing or we're supposed to do this and that. Okay, so let's take a look first of all, after looking at both the CDC requirements and looking at what we are doing, are we responsible? Ready? Pull up your clicker cards. Yeah. You remember our percentage last time? It was hard to forget. What was it here in the class? 50-50 exactly. We had 22 students, I remember, because we had 11 and 11 on either side. It's not the same in other classes, by the way. It really changed over the day. Okay, if you can find in 5 seconds, then okay. So right now, you found it. When you have a chance to take them. Okay. So this is what we have right now. I'm very curious. So the graph. Okay, so that changed a lot. That changed a lot. Okay. So the great majority think we are not using it responsibly. I can start asking you why, but there's another clicker that might give us an answer to that. And okay, here we go. By the way, the journal will be for you to write down just the result of this. Your doctor prescribed antibiotics that can last 2 weeks, but you feel better already after 3 days. What should you do? Continue to take the medicine, discard the extra medicine, keep the remaining for future use, give the rest to another person with similar symptoms. Okay, so the majority say continue to take the medicine or discard the extra medicine. So let's talk about it a little bit because we want to have a consensus, right? There has to be a right way to do it. So what do you remember are the CDC regulations? This group here is 6. Wonder, I don't remember. They say do not. Okay, that's the same document that you looked at. They say A or B.
A.
They say A. So, any idea why? Why are they saying to finish the medicine regardless of your condition? If it helped out for 3 days and then you don't need it anymore, it's a pain in the neck to go back and forth.
Because it might have just weakened it, but it's still, a little part of it's still there.
It maybe weakened it. What is it?
Oh, weakened the bacteria.
Maybe it weakened the bacteria, but it's still there?
Yeah.
Idea? Okay, so that's a question, right? Our assignment means, well, okay, so we trust them that it's important, okay, but we don't know why. Okay, so the lesson here is really geared for that. Why would we discard, why would we continue to take the medicine? What is the benefit of continuing, oh, excuse me, discard. What is the problem with discarding? Is what Kristen said. Discard means maybe we didn't finish the treatment, okay? But in both cases, both A and B agree not to keep the medicine. So why not keep the medicine? Let me clarify. The first 2 responses look like they are in the same direction of not keeping it. Why not keeping it? Yes?
Maybe let's say you don't know when you're going to get sick again, and then by that time, it might have already expired.
Let's say next week. So maybe I'll put a date on that, and I'll say I'll keep it, but next week, if within this week I can still give it to someone to help them, why not?
You don't know their condition.
Why not? Christian is great. Okay, Lena, what do you think? Why not keep the medicine? For yourself, for somebody else, why not save it?
Because you don't, well, isn't it like, doesn't it help the bacteria become like resistant to it if you take it?
Okay, so we have 2 problems here. One is the patient, are we taking care of the patient well? And there's maybe it's not done yet. It feels done, but it's not done yet. And then Lynn said maybe it's causing a problem that is beyond the patient. It's in the environment, in the community. Maybe it's causing antibiotic resistance, which is our concern here. Okay? Now, the patient doesn't know all that. Most patients, no. But that is the requirement from the CDC. Okay, so one last thing. Well, we said that we do not follow. The majority do not follow. Are we following? If we are the community now, if we were the 400 or 750 people answering, do you think we would be responsible? Well, from now on, is this response responsible? Yes, okay. I mean, we're responsible not to save. All of us said we're not saving medicine for future use. Okay? And somebody said, maybe I cannot diagnose other people, or even myself. I'm going to have a doctor prescribe, right? So let's say we are responsible, so now we are the CDC. We can call ourselves, we are the judges here. So why do you think people don't follow the CDC? This is a little small, so I'm going to read it aloud. What do you think the most likely reason would be that a person would not follow CDC recommendation? So A, really small. People don't trust what the doctors say. B, the CDC tells you what to do, but they don't explain why. They need to know why. If they don't understand why, they won't follow it. C, there is conflicting advice out there to people, so people don't know what to do. They're not sure, what do you mean? Yes, this or that. And then D, prescription drugs can be expensive, so they save extra antibiotics for other family members. So, you need to review? No, I haven't done. C and D are dominating here. I'm not dismissing any of them. All of them are valid reasons. But it looks like we think that we need to know why. People need to know why in order to follow directions. And then here is because of economics. Okay, that it's not everybody has health insurance, right? So that's a problem. And then people said, okay, at least I have something in the backup. All right. What I wanted to do in your journal is the following. Right here. So for number one, what should we do when we have leftovers? The regulations say, what do they say?
Discard them.
Discard or keep using it? Keep using it.
Yeah.
Okay, keep using it. There's another one here. I don't think period 6 necessarily wrote that. Okay, that's period 6. You did. So keep using it.
Yeah.
You told, finish it off. Especially if it's as pills. Okay? Ointments on wound, that's hard to measure. They don't tell you to finish a whole tube. So if anybody thought about that, I get that this is an exception. But pills that you take this 4 times a day, or 3 times a day, or 6 times a day. You have to finish. Are we using antibiotics responsibly? The majority is say no. I would agree. No. Okay, because most of us do not complete them, okay, or we do other things. Excuse me. So now, why do people not follow these directions? Looks like the majority here think that either because they don't understand why, it doesn't make sense to people, so they don't follow it, and or they want to save money, which we can't blame anybody doing that. Okay. Look how important it is to be educated. It's really important to understand why. And it's no harm and no crime. You go to a doctor's appointment when you have a chance, and the doctor says something, and the doctor is in a rush, and you say, why are you giving me this prescription? In a polite way, you're not saying, oh, you probably are doing something wrong. You just want to understand so you'll be able to follow it. Yes?
Can a doctor prescribe medicine to themselves if they say?
Yes, they can. Yes, they can. I worked once for a person that he was in the research, but he was also a medical doctor. He just didn't practice it, that he decided to go to research. And he was saying that he needs something, for example, I don't know, all kinds of prescriptions, he can. But some doctors prefer not to. They prefer to have somebody that is objective, that they trust, of course, so they won't be misled by their own pain or whatever they want to do. But they can. Legally, they definitely can.
So doctors have doctors?
Doctors have doctors. There are some people. I don't know what they recommend for doctors, if to use it or not, to use their freedom to prescribe for themselves. Okay. But they have the authority to do that. That's not a problem. You trust them. I mean, they're professionals, right? So. Once you're done writing it, please switch to the yellow paper. We want to, now before we move on, let's see the relevance of this to admin. Any need for reminders? Number 3, the most common reasons were A, because they don't know why, they're not being explained why these regulations are correct, like the scientific background. People want to know that there's a reason for it. It doesn't make sense to me to finish the medicine, so I need to know why. And the other reason was because of saving money. We don't have health insurance, we want to be sure we have a backup. So when you go out there after we finish the unit and you want to convince somebody, say, well, you know, there's a good reason for this, and it is, and we can learn. And we are learning. And yes, I know it is maybe saving money, but is it worth it? In the end. I'm skipping this, and I'd like, before we move on, to see how the relevance here is. And please write lesson 4 on your list. We all have that? Am I going too fast? I'm going to copy this here, lesson 4. I mean, you know this already, the order of the lessons, there's some flexibility here, so we're not going in particular order as written. So in lesson 4, it's all about what we just did.